Studies and research all over the world for years and years have shown that when women are empowered and when women do better, their families improve, their communities improve, their countries improve, and the whole planet improves. Find out how and why in this video. The problem that we face in the world right now is that for about 10,000 years or so, women have been a second-class citizen worldwide. Now, the reasons for this are many, and I'm not going to get into them here because what I'm here to talk about is what is women's empowerment all about? What does that look like? Why is it important? How do we make that happen? The fact is, when women are empowered, the world is a better place. This has been shown time and time again by statistics and research. The fact is that women, when given $1 or when they earn $1, they'll invest about 80 cents of that dollar into their families and communities. This is in contrast to when men earn $1, which they invest about 30 to 40 cents in their families and their communities. When you give $1 to a woman, it goes further than when you give it to a man. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying anything bad about men. Empowerment is not about man bashing or male bashing. But what it is about women stepping into their own power. Now, we need men and women to make the world work. But when there's an imbalance, that means that the gifts and the benefits that women bring to society and culture don't get fully explored, don't get fully utilized. So what we want to do is bring women up, not bring men down. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's talk about what is women's empowerment all about. So empowerment is about stepping into power. The reason that I find this topic fascinating, the reason I care so much about it, is because this is part of my purpose on this planet. I identified years ago that what mattered to me was elevating the status and the role of women worldwide. And so I created an event called the Women's Success Summit, which was very successful in Miami for many years, and it helped women step into greater power in the arena of business and career. And now I want to share with you some of what I learned along the way about what it means to step into empowerment. So the first thing about empowerment is that we acknowledge suffering, but we're not a victim to suffering. We don't stay in the suffering forever. And so that's a really important point because a lot of people think that empowerment is about ignoring the suffering or moving past it or beyond it. And really what it is about, in my opinion, is about tapping into it and using it as fuel for creating something new, something better, something different. The second thing that empowerment requires is forgiveness. It means letting go. It means not hanging on to the injuries and resentments of the past. When we live in those injuries and resentments, when we hang on to them, we are still at the mercy of them. We're a victim to them. So empowerment is about letting them go, forgiving, doing whatever it takes to make that happen so that we can open up space for what is new and what is next. Empowerment is about being the master of your life no matter what the circumstances are. Even though you may not be at fault for something that happened to you, it means taking responsibility in this moment for everything that comes next. It's about choosing your life, choosing all of it, not just the pretty parts, not just the parts that we want people to see, but rather all of it. It's about saying, I know that I'm here on this planet to have a full life experience. And that doesn't mean just having these particular life experiences. So empowerment is about recognizing that life is not just the pretty parts, it's all of it, and we appreciate and value all of it. Empowerment is about letting go of resistance to what is. It's about accepting what is, not resigning yourself to it, but rather accepting and surrendering even to what is, and also creating a vision for what is next. Empowerment is about recognizing that our words create our world. And that when we say things like, I have to do this, or she made me feel this way, we are giving away our power. Empowerment is changing our language to say things like, I get to do this. I felt this way. It's about owning our decisions, owning our power, owning our emotional experience, and even owning our triggers and the things that set us off instead of blaming someone else. Empowerment is about using the reframe very strategically. I use the word reframe to talk about creating a new context for something. So for example, instead of looking at something like a horrible situation, let's say that you got fired from your job, right? Instead of wallowing in that, I mean, yes, we go there, we experience the pain of it, we acknowledge the suffering, and we say, this is the reframe, what is the gift in this experience? When you really tap into the fact that there's always a gift, you can start to look through the experience for what's the opportunity for growth. You got fired from your job. What's the gift in this? Is it maybe the opportunity to do something you really love even more? Empowerment is about intentionally choosing when we say yes and when we say no, and not allowing ourselves to say yes when we really mean no, or even to say no when we really mean yes. To know when is the right time to do something and when is the right time to walk away. Empowerment is knowing what we can control and what we can't, and knowing when to let something go versus when to take action. It's about the distinction between a decision and a choice. A decision is when we weigh multiple options together and we say, okay, I'm going to choose this path. But choice, we can choose anything. So remember, empowerment is about choosing. It doesn't have to be rational. It doesn't have to be something that you would have picked for yourself off of a menu. But if you can step into choice around every area of your life, you're going to have much more agency around every area in your life. Now, if you want more of that as it relates to your business, then go ahead and sign up for my Monetize Your Magic Playbook. It's free, and it'll help you align what you do with who you really are so you can have more empowerment in your business and in your life.